Sorry to keep you waiting. There was some problem with this connection only. So let's start with the lecture. Okay, so we'll start with the lecture. So today we are going to talk about associative memories and the Hopfield networks. We last time we briefly talked about it. What are the associative memories? Okay. To understand the associative memories, just consider the case that suppose you are just going through your phone and gallery, and you see a picture which is, let's say, 6 months back or a year back, and the moment you see the picture you remember the event. Okay, this was this function or a party. So basically what you're doing is you are taking some input, some pattern, some key, something, and you are able to remember or recollect some information. Okay, so that exactly is the principle. So there is some key, there is some index which is forming the bridge to recall a pattern which was once stored or which was once learned by your network. Okay, so basically you can say there is a form of storing the patterns and then recalling those patterns. And when I say recalling the patterns, there the input which is given then can be a noisy input or it can be a distorted input. So the capability of the network here is to get the correct output from the noisy version of the input based on whatever it had learned. And when I talk about learning, obviously the learning, it has to be in the form of weights. So I can say that neural networks associate memories. They are a class of neural networks. They have the ability of associating, just like human brain is able to associate an idea or thought with the help of a sensory cue. When I say sensory cue, मतलब वो कौन सी कोई कोई की है, कोई इंडेक्स है, कोई इनकोडिंग मैकेनिज्म है जिसके बेसिस पे वो उसको लर्न करता है उस एसोसिएशन को. Just for that you can take the example. आप लाइब्रेरी में जाते हो, लाइब्रेरी में you have to, let's say you want to find a book on soft computing. So when you are looking, you don't know which is the author. So what you can do is there is a catalog which is there. So you can put this word soft computing. According to that, it will tell you, okay, this is the cabinet number. Let's say 723 is the cabinet number where the soft computing books are there. So this is the indexing which is there. So what the learning part is in the network कि जहाँ सॉफ्ट कंप्यूटिंग होगा वो 723 के साथ एसोसिएटेड होगा, 723.1, 723.2, 723.3 and so on. Okay, so that is the key, or that is the indexing, or that is a kind of encoding mechanism which is used to take some information from the input pattern and use that information for deriving or relating it to a particular output. So I hope I'm quite clear on this. What is associative memory? So it is a class of neural network which has the ability to store an association between a set of correlated data. Okay. So this is the typical example. So this is the pattern which is capital alphabet T. Okay. So let's say the association has been learned by your network. So once it recognizes, okay, if I get this kind of pattern, let's say I'm just going to give you example. जहाँ पे ये आपकी solid dots है उसको वो 1 लेता है और जहाँ पे आपके ये empty holes है उसको वो 0 लेता है और वो इस association को learn कर लेता है कि अगर मुझे let's say ऐसा कुछ एक median मिलता है जहाँ पे I get some value here and some value along the perpendicular direction, I have to take that alphabet as T. So let's say once it has learned, once you present your network with this noisy version in which I am having the lower part of this image is quite distorted. So my network should be able to recall that, okay, this is T based on the learning that I am going to have some value along this direction and some value of the output along the perpendicular direction. So this is how the associative memories they are going to work. Okay. So some underlying collection of the stored data, which may be an ordered set of information, but definitely it is interrelated in some way, is made use in case of your associative memories. Okay. So the learning, it is coming from the data which is there used for training. So it is kind of using as content addressable memory. मतलब आप content के basis पे information retrieve कर रहे हो, that is your content addressable memory. Further, it can be a heteroassociative memory or it is auto-associative memory. Now let's try to understand what is hetero and what is auto-associative. Let's say आपके पास ये आपका network है जहाँ पे you have some association that if it is A, it is associated with the capital A, it should be interpreted as this. If it is B, so उसको कुछ अल्फ़ाबेट की एसोसिएशंस उसने लर्न की है कि अगर ये लोअर केस कैरेक्टर ये है तो it should be interpreted in the output as this. So my input can be any small case letter B. So based on the learning, it will recognize that, okay, this is B. Okay. So when my inputs and outputs, they belong to a different set of information which are correlated with each other. Okay. That is called the heteroassociation. Whereas, let's say if the case was that I have recognizing A only as a small a. That is, by the pattern to me recognized is the same as the pattern which I am retrieving at the output, then it is said to be your auto-associative. मतलब बेसिकली एसोसिएटिव मेमोरी क्या कर रही है, एक्स और वाई के बीच में एसोसिएशन फॉर्म करिए जहाँ पे एक्स और वाई दो रिलेटेड डेटा है, जहाँ पे हम एक्स को इनपुट कह सकते हैं और वाई को आउटपुट कह सकते हैं. अगर मेरे एक्स और वाई दो डिफरेंट पैरामीटर्स को रेफर करते हैं तो उसका मतलब वो हेटेरो एसोसिएटिव है. अगर एक्स और वाई दे आर रेफरिंग टू द सेम पैरामीटर और द सेम इंफॉर्मेशन, then I can say it is auto-associative memory. Okay, so this is what we understand by heteroassociation and by auto-association. Okay, so it retrieves the previously stored pattern that most closely resembles the current pattern, and heteroassociation is which is different from the input pattern but is definitely related. Okay. अब जब हम मेमोरीज की बात करते हैं तो हमें समझ आ गई कि एसोसिएशन है और डेफिनेटली वो लर्निंग हमारी वेट्स के फॉर्म में, तो देयर विल बी सम डेफिनेटली अ लर्निंग रूल व्हिच इज यूज्ड, देयर इज अ सेट ऑफ इनपुट्स, अ सेट ऑफ आउटपुट्स, अ नेटवर्क आर्किटेक्चर, वो हमें पता है क्या है, दैट वील सी. बट व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट द स्ट्रक्चर, आई कैन इम्प्लीमेंट बाय एसोसिएटिव मेमोरी as a feed forward network or as a feedback network. Okay, when I say it is a feed forward network, it is said to be a static network. Okay, where there are only forward connections between the input and the output. This is generally implemented as a linear associative memory or as a bi-directional associative memories. So इसकी दो फॉर्म्स है जो हमारा फीड फॉरवर्ड नेटवर्क यूज होता है. या तो वो लीनियर एसोसिएटिव मेमोरी होती है जो एक सिंगल लेयर नेटवर्क होगा, या फिर वो बाय डायरेक्शनल 2 लेयर नेटवर्क होता है जिसमें एक सिंगल पास ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन फ्रॉम इनपुट टुवर्ड्स आउटपुट इज यूज्ड फॉर associating or learning the association between the input and the output. Okay, but when I am forming some feedback connection, I am forming a looping connection, certain kind of loop, then it is said to be your feedback or the dynamic. And the example of the dynamic associative memory is your Hopfield network. So one thing you should be very clear now, what are auto-associative memories and how Hopfield network it is related to it. So Hopfield network, it is a way to implement your dynamic associative memories. Okay, so let's start. The simplest associative memory, as I told you, it is the linear associative memory, which is nothing but a single layer architecture. So it is a form of feed forward or a static network. So single pass of information is used for computing the association, and the weight matrix it is responsible for storing the association. So इसमें एक single layer ही रहती है जो कि आपकी output layer होगी. Inputs they are as what we have been doing till now. They are the non-processing units only, just acting as the input or the sensory units which are going to take the input and give it to the processing layer or the output layer. So ये एक single layer network होते हैं. Okay, so that is normally governed by Hebb's rule. जब originally it was started, the basis of this linear associative memory was Hebb's learning rule. So the inputs, they are connected with this weight matrix. So we'll just see the structure before we understand this. So इसमें क्या है, आप इसका structure देखें. So this is my set of neurons which is there, and this is my set of output neurons, I can say, and this is the only processing layer. My inputs, they are the non-processing layer which is there. Okay. So if there are m units of the input and there are n units of the output, we have to find k associations. फुली कनेक्टेड नेटवर्क है, हर इनपुट हर आउटपुट के साथ कनेक्टेड है, लेकिन जो इंफॉर्मेशन है, जो एसोसिएशन है या जो डेटा को रिलेशन है, दैट इज एग्जिस्टिंग इन द फॉर्म ऑफ ऑर्डर्ड पेयर्स एज k associative pairs. So k is a number which is not depending upon m and n. Definitely k is going to be less than m. Okay, so definitely वो number of input से कम है क्योंकि हम एसोसिएशन ढूंढ रहे हैं, बट इट इज इंडिपेंडेंट, अदरवाइज इट इज नो वे डिपेंडेंट. मतलब m एक डिफरेंट नंबर है, आपके पास एक नेटवर्क हो सकता है, लेट्स से विच इज ऑफ द ऑर्डर विथ 3 इनपुट्स एंड 6 न्यूरॉन्स इन द आउटपुट लेयर, लेकिन उनकी जो एसोसिएशन है दैट कैन एग्जिस्ट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ 4 पेयर्स ऑफ इनपुट एंड आउटपुट. सो आई होप यू गेट what is associative pairs and what is input and output. Okay, मतलब हम जो relationship ढूंढ रहे हैं वो जो let's say what again I'm going to take the library example for that. आपका एक small area है अपना library का which is going to cater to your engineering books. So in engineering you have a subdivision which is going to cater to, let's say, electronics books. ठीक है, अब वो electronics books है जो आपकी that is going to be your this you can say your outputs which are there. Okay, and the subjects what you are having, they are going to be your inputs. Okay, अब हर सब्जेक्ट के अकॉर्डिंग मैंने एक एसोसिएशन फॉर्म कर ली है कि इस सब्जेक्ट की ये किताबें हैं, तो एक सब्जेक्ट की 4 किताबें भी हो सकती हैं. मतलब एक इनपुट 4 आउटपुट के साथ एसोसिएट हो गई है, जिसमें लेट्स से आपका सॉफ्ट कंप्यूटिंग है या आपका कोई भी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक सर्किट्स है, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स डिवाइसेस है. सो दैट इज व्हाट k number of associations. So based on that k number of associations, I will have the categories or the indexing of those books. कि 723 is for soft computing, 720 is for electronics devices and circuits, 721 is for communication based subjects, and so on. So are we clear on what is association, what is the number of input and what is the number of output? Okay, so kind of this association is, you can say, a kind of encoding mechanism you are deriving between, or you are capturing between the input and the output. Okay, so there is a k set of associative pairs. Okay, and the outputs are definitely in the form of bipolar. That is, either the outputs and inputs both are going to be bipolar, or they can be in the form of binary. Normally the decision making, it is based on the this threshold as 0. So 0 threshold is taken. Okay, so how do we actually apply it for learning? So this is the algorithm which is used. We'll take one example based on that. First, you have to initialize the weights as per the Heb's rule. अब Heb's rule क्या था? If anybody remembers, Heb's rule is simply the multiplication of the input and the output. If you remember, weight and the input. Sorry. So that is the output. It is going to be the between. It is given by the input and your weight which is there, x into w, simple as that. Okay, so आप उसी लॉजिक से अपना वेट कैलकुलेट, उसी से इट इज बिटवीन द इनपुट एंड द आउटपुट ऑफ द, हाँ, तो हम उसी लॉजिक से अपना वेट डिराइव कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज वेट तो हमें इनिशियलाइज करने हैं ना, तो आप इनपुट और आउटपुट को मल्टीप्लाई करके पहले अपना एसोसिएशन, दैट इज इनिशियल association you are going to get, which is in the form of weights. Then we apply the input vector. हर input vector के लिए आप उस weight matrix के according उसकी value calculate करोगे, that is the summed input value. Once that summed input value is calculated, we'll apply the activation function. The activation function, as I told you, that can be either bipolar or that can be binary. So considering it is binary, if the value what we have got as the summed input, that is greater than 0, the output is taken to be 1. Otherwise, the output is taken to be 0. And the same applies both for heteroassociation as well as for auto association. Okay, so to understand this, consider we are having this set of input vectors. I'm having set of 4 input vectors and I'm having corresponding outputs. पहले तो आप मुझे ये बताओगे इसमें कितने नंबर ऑफ इनपुट्स और कितनी नंबर ऑफ आउटपुट्स हैं? Anybody, you can put it in the chat box or you can unmute yourself, because I think today you have, yes, you can unmute yourself or you can put the answer.
4 inputs of 4 bits and 4 outputs of 2 bits.
Okay, Guraziz, you will have 4 inputs and you will have 2 outputs. Okay, ये हमारे पैटर्न्स है, इनपुट वेक्टर्स है, जिसको हम एक टाइम पे एक अप्लाई करोगे और उसके अकॉर्डिंग आपका वेट है जो वेट मैट्रिक्स इवॉल्व होगा. ठीक है, सो यू आर राइट, यू विल हैव 4 inputs which are going to be there, and those 4 inputs are this 1, 2, 3, 4, not these 4. ये नंबर ऑफ ट्रेडिंग वेक्टर्स है. ठीक है, और ये आपके 2 आउटपुट्स हैं. सो आपका x1, x2, x3, x4 ये होगा इनपुट और y1, y2 होंगी आपकी 2 आउटपुट्स. सो टिपिकली योर नेटवर्क स्ट्रक्चर दैट शुड बी okay. Okay, so this is the kind of the structure we are going to expect in this case. So these are the directed connections from input towards output. So they have to have an arrow. Sorry, where was the drawing? Okay, so ये directed आपके हैं. So ये मेरी outputs है. So ये मेरा typical network structure है. So what I have to do in this case is, first I have to train my vector network for storing the association which it learns from these input vectors, and then I have to see that once it is trained, whether it is able to recall the patterns. So one of the pattern I am going to give is a new pattern which it hasn't learned, and the other pattern is the one which it has learned, which is this only 0, 1, 0, 0, I2. So in both cases we are then going to test it. So let's see how we are going to start with it. So I'm very clear on my network structure. My network is going to consist of my 4 inputs, and I'm going to have my two outputs. Okay. So first, to derive by initial weight values. So you have to initialize the weights as per the Heb's rule. So Heb's rule, as I said, that it is the weight value that is coming from the input multiplied by the output. So same thing I'm going to apply. I'm going to take the transpose of my this input vector, that is I1 first, then I multiply it by the corresponding output. So when I multiply, this is I'm going to get. So my weight matrix, it has to be of the order of 4x2. वो मुझे इस नेटवर्क स्ट्रक्चर से पता लग गया, लेकिन उसके लिए मैं हर इनपुट वेक्टर के करस्पॉन्डिंग उसका वेट मैट्रिक्स कैलकुलेट करूंगी. So for the first input vector, my weight vector is going to be 1 0 1 0 0 0 and 0 0. Similarly, I computed for all the 4 input vectors which have to be applied. So I applied for W2. For that, corresponding to that, I'm going to get this value. Similarly, I am going to get it for W3, that is corresponding to the input vector I3, and W4 corresponding to the input vector I4. So by simple multiplication, I am able to get this. Once I get it, now मेरे नेटवर्क को सारों की एसोसिएशन, ये तो एक इनपुट वेक्टर में से उसने एक वेट वैल्यूज ली, लेकिन उसको इन चारों पैटर्न्स को लर्न करना है, और उनमें से अगर मैं कोई भी दोबारा देती हूँ उसको रिकॉल करने की उसकी कैपेबिलिटी होनी चाहिए. ठीक है. So to get that, I do simply what I do is I sum up all the weight vectors I got from each of the input vector which was there. So I element by element I'm going to add. So let's say it was 0 plus 0. First element is, that is W11. 0 plus 0. और अगर हम previous में देखें, it is plus 0 plus 1. So the first element of my weight matrix, it is going to be 1, which is right. So likewise, मैं अपने सभी elements को element by element add करके I am going to get my weight matrix, which has been able to capture the association based on the Heb's rule by simply correlating. Heb's rule मेरा correlation पे ही based है. Output और input के बीच में correlation लेते हो, और वो correlation कैसे लेते हो? Simply by multiplying. Okay, so it is able to correlate the input and the output data, and it is able to capture those association in the form of these updated weights. Okay, so once I have it, now I'm going to verify, or I'm going to train it and see whether I'm getting the correct output for the patterns which it has learned. So let's see. So training part, it begins. For the first training pattern I apply, I simply calculate the two outputs y1 and y2 based on this weight matrix. So पहले इसमें x1 की वैल्यू क्या है 1, x2 की वैल्यू क्या है 1, x3 is 0 and x4 is 0. Weight matrix, I am going to take this value, I'm going to take it as 1 0 2 0 0 2 0 1. Okay. I'm just kind of write it for reference here. So the weight matrix is 1 0 2 0 0 2 and 0 1. So ये मेरा weight matrix है. तो पहले मैं y1, this is now corresponding to y1 and this is corresponding to y2, and this is for the input x1, x2, x3 and x4. So accordingly, this may be referred to as W11, that is value of the correlation or the strength of the correlation between the input 1 and output 1. This is your W12. So likewise, this would be W41 and this is W42. So I hope you get it. So मुझे simply ये calculate करना है. I'm just going to calculate first the weighted sum. So इसके corresponding I'm just going to take the values of the weight. So first what I'm going to get is 1 into 1, that is x1 is 1, w11 is 1. Next value is x2 is 1 and w21 is 2. So I put the value 2. x3 is 0, so x3 is 0 and the weight corresponding to w31 is 0. Last term it is x4 is 0 and w41 is also 0. So what I get the value of weighted sum is 3. Now weighted sum, this is greater than 0. So if it is greater than 0, it means my output is 1, which is there. Okay. Now I calculate the output y2. Similarly, I am going to compute the weighted sum input corresponding to this input vector and these set of values. So simply मैं इनको fill कर रही हूँ. 1 x1 1 है, 1 2 0 है, x2 is 1 and w22 is 0 as I am getting here and so on. So you get the value 0 here.
Ma'am.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
मैम इट इज मैट्रिक्स मल्टीप्लिकेशन ना बेसिकली. मैम हम मैट्रिक्स को मैट्रिक्स से मल्टीप्लाई कर रहे हैं, मतलब वो 1/4 नहीं होएगा, मतलब हम ऐड को कर रहे हैं मतलब वैल्यूज को.
क्योंकि मैं इसको एलिमेंट बाय एलिमेंट ले रही हूँ, हर इनपुट के करस्पॉन्डिंग ले रही हूँ. अगर आपको मैट्रिक्स पूरी मल्टीप्लाई करनी है तो आप डायरेक्टली क्या मल्टीप्लाई करोगे? इट वुड बी x मल्टीप्लाई.
हाँ सर, मतलब वो 1/4 की मैट्रिक्स बन जाएगी पूरी.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी, वही बन जाएगा. तो इसमें मैंने दो आउटपुट्स को अलग अलग दिखाने के लिए आपको ऐसे किया है. अदरवाइज आप उसको सीधा मल्टीप्लाई कर सकते हो. दैट वुड गिव यू, तो वो आपका वेटेड सम की वैल्यू आ जाएगी, उसके बेसिस पे आपकी आउटपुट आ जाएगी.
ओके मैम.
ठीक है, क्योंकि उसमें आपकी ये वैल्यूज आएंगी ना, 3 और 0 आएंगी. 3 और 0 की वैल्यू के बेसिस पे आप अपना आउटपुट ले लोगे. ठीक है, दैट इज एज गुड एज दैट इफ यू कैन मल्टीप्लाई डायरेक्टली. सो यू गेट द आउटपुट 1 0. और अगर आप अपनी लर्निंग देखो तो लर्निंग में यू कैन सी हियर वेयर वी वर अप्लाइंग द patterns. So initially, so corresponding to 1 1 0, what was the output? 1 0, which is same what I'm getting. 1 0. y1 is 1, y2 is 0. Okay. So actually it means it has actually effectively learned, this weight matrix has been effectively able to capture the input or the train, whatever inputs we have given and the corresponding output. तो लाइकवाइज आप बाकियों को वेरीफाई कर सकते हो. सिमिलरली तो हमने सिर्फ एक ट्रेनिंग पैटर्न के लिए किया है, सो वी कैन डू इट फॉर द अदर ट्रेनिंग पैटर्न्स ऑल्सो. अब हम अपनी इनपुट अप्लाई करते हैं रिकॉल के लिए. तो मेरा ट्रेनिंग फेज ओवर हो गया. मैंने चारों के लिए ये प्रोसीजर आई विल रिपीट एंड आई विल सी. Then I am going to see recall. Let's say I give a noisy version of the input. Instead of 1 1 0 0, I give 1 1 1 0. Now this pattern was not learnt by my network. So I have to see whether it is able to give me the correct output or the closest output, or it is going to give me the wrong output. Let's see. So again I am going to apply the same procedure to calculate the output. I have to make use of this weight matrix and these values of the input. So I will first calculate the weighted sum for the output y1. हाँ, और जैसे ही मेरा वो कैलकुलेट हो गया उसकी वैल्यू 3 आती है, आप करके देख सकते हैं. एंड देन इसका मतलब मेरी करस्पॉन्डिंग आउटपुट क्या है? 1 है, बिकॉज इट इज ग्रेटर देन 0. सो थीटा आई टोल्ड यू वी टेक द थ्रेशोल्ड टू बी 0. सो सिमिलरली मैं y2 के लिए वेटेड सम कैलकुलेट करती हूँ और उसकी भी आउटपुट क्या आती है? 2, विच इज अगेन ग्रेटर देन 0. सो इट मीन्स y2 इज 0. सो अगर मैं देखूँ, अब मैंने इसको क्या लिया था, आई हैड टेकन इट एज अ नॉइजी वर्जन ऑफ 1 1 0 0. सो 1 1 0 0 के करस्पॉन्डिंग मेरी आउटपुट क्या थी? इट वॉज एक्चुअली 1 0. So I should have got this but what I am getting is this. So it means it is not able to recall that noisy version because उसने ये pattern learn नहीं किया था. Or in the other words, I can say my network, it is not recognizing this input vector because it hasn't learned this input vector. Let's see, then we are applying a vector which it had learned. So चारों में से एक पैटर्न हमने I2 दिया था 0 1 0 0. अगर आप उसको अप्लाई करके देखते हो, same thing you calculate. So you are going to get the output which is 1 0, which is the correct output. So it means my network is able to recognize or recall the patterns, binary patterns only which it had learned. It is not able to give me the correct version of the noisy version of my inputs. Okay. Why we'll evaluate this reason? So it means what basically I want, जो मैंने जहाँ से शुरू किया था कि मैं मेरा जो नेटवर्क है वो उस एसोसिएशन को लर्न करता है ताकि बेसिक पर्पस क्या है इन एसोसिएटिव मेमोरीज का, क्योंकि रिकॉग्निशन तो हम पहले भी कर रहे थे. सिंपल एमएलपीज जो मेरे थे, मल्टीलेयर परसेप्ट्रॉन्स जो मेरे नेटवर्क थे, फीड फॉरवर्ड सिंपल नेटवर्क है, उसमें भी हम रिकॉग्निशन ही करते हैं. तो इसमें क्या खास था? इसमें यही खास था कि हम उसकी जो वेट मैट्रिक्स हो कोरिलेशन से डिराइव करते हैं और हम चाहते हैं कि जब मेरी नॉइजी इनपुट भी आए तो इट इज एबल टू give me the correct output. So I expect my associative memories to be more robust as compared to my simple MLPs or the simple feed forward networks which are there. But when I'm talking about the robustness or the ability of the network to learn that, it depends primarily on the two things, the memory capacity and the content addressability. So the performance measures of measuring the robustness or the effectiveness or the goodness of an associative memory, that is primarily determined by the memory capacity and the content addressability. When I say memory capacity, it means the number of associated pattern pairs which can be stored and correctly retrieved. Okay, so इसका मतलब जितने ज़्यादा नंबर ऑफ मेरा एसोसिएटिव नेटवर्क्स के, जो के की वैल्यू हमने वहाँ पे लर्न की थी, सो के जितना ज़्यादा होगा उतने ही मेरी उसकी रोबस्टनेस ज़्यादा होगी because it will be able to differentiate between the noisy versions and the actual learned versions. Okay, and the other is the content addressability, that is based on the content of the input which is presented, it is able to retrieve the correct output. Okay, so these two are the factors. और वो किस पे डिपेंड करता है? वो हमारे कोरिलेशन पे डिपेंड कर रहा है जो कंटेंट एड्रेसेबिलिटी है. और in this case it is going to depend upon the Heb's rule. So Heb's rule, it is not very effective in giving me that memory capacity and the content addressability. So because of that, there were few modifications. There was use of delta rule which was suggested for the determination of this weight matrix, and there was another form which is called hybrid data. When I say hybrid data, इसका मतलब मेरी जो input है या जो मेरी output है उसको I am, instead of simply presenting as a 0-1 binary or as a bipolar -1-1, I am going to apply certain logic or certain manipulation of the data so that it takes the values which are other than, it takes the real values other than those binary values, and it is able to take a wider range of data values. So those were the certain modifications which are there. We are not going to learn those modifications definitely in our course, but this addresses why I was not able to recall that pattern. Okay, क्योंकि मेरी लर्निंग कैपेसिटी भी लो थी, नंबर ऑफ पैटर्न्स जो उसने लर्न किए थे वो भी लो थे, और मेरा हेब्स रूल से जो कोरिलेशन कैप्चर होता है वो भी नॉर्मली कम ही आते. ओके, So next we come to next is your another type of memory which is called your bidirectional two-layer network. So already I'm just going to end this up. Bidirectional में अब क्या फर्क है, वो भी हेब्स रूल पे ही है, लेकिन इसमें अब 2 लेयर्स होती है और बायडायरेक्शनल का मतलब है कि उसमें दोनों तरफ आपका जो है weight matrix instead of unidirectional, it is bidirectional. So this is the change to that diagram which was there. So यहाँ पे आपकी 2 layers है, दोनों इनपुट और आउटपुट लेयर्स ये आपकी प्रोसेसिंग लेयर्स है, मतलब दोनों ही they are going to be consisting of processing units. Now what is the difference? The difference you can obviously see कि ये बाय डायरेक्शनल, पर इससे फ़र्क क्या पड़ रहा है? द फ़र्क इससे जो ये पड़ रहा है कि ये आपके प्रोसेस को इटरेटिव बना रहा है. आई विल जस्ट ट्राई टू टेक वन एग्जांपल, ट्राई टू मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड. कंसिडर आपका एक छोटा सा नेटवर्क है जिसमें आपकी एक इनपुट है, एक आउटपुट है, ठीक है. जो आप आप जो पहले कर रहे थे वो ये था लीनियर के अंदर, सिंपली ये वेट था दोनों के बीच में, और ये वेट somehow कैप्चर कर रहा था हेब्स रूल के अकॉर्डिंग, व्हाटएवर इज द कोरिलेशन. सो सपोज मेरी इसके बाद कोई आउटपुट आती है, लेट्स से y. अब अगर मैं उस कोरिलेशन को इम्प्रूव करना चाहती हूँ, अब लेट्स से मेरी जो इनपुट का कोई पैटर्न है, मैंने उसको जब लर्न करने के लिए दिया, वो मेरा जो t था उसने लेट्स से इट इज काइंड ऑफ this I have been able to give, little distorted, okay, I have been able to give. So it is a little tilt here, it is having the thickness changed here. So मैंने उसको पहले प्रेजेंट किया इस इनपुट पैटर्न को, और उसके करस्पॉन्डिंग मुझे कुछ आउटपुट मिली. अब लेट्स से अगर मैं इसी नॉइजी वर्जन या इसी करेक्टेड आउटपुट को, कि मेरे को पता है कि ये टी है, अब मैं इसको फिर से इनपुट दे देती हूँ, सो आई कैन एक्सपेक्ट दैट now it will be having the better understanding or the better capturing of that pattern T, क्योंकि उसको एक बार वो थोड़ा सा एक नॉइजी वर्जन से ऊपर कैप्चर कर चुका है. अगली बार मैंने उसको एक बेटर इमेज दिया है, बेटर पैटर्न दिया है, और मैं ये चीज़ को एक एज अ आइटरेटिव प्रोसेस की तरह यूज करती रहती हूँ. डेफिनेटली इट विल हेल्प टू इम्प्रूव द परफॉर्मेंस. सो सेम इज द लॉजिक हियर. इंस्टेड ऑफ यूजिंग द फीडबैक कनेक्शन, मैं कर वही रही हूँ जो पहली बार मैंने इसको इनपुट दिया और इसने आउटपुट कैलकुलेट किया, वही आउटपुट मेरी वापस एज अ इनपुट आ रही है, और इसने कुछ कैलकुलेट करके उसको अपनी इनपुट बना लिया. अब इस इनपुट के बेसिस पे वो फिर से वही आउटपुट कैलकुलेट करेगा. सो मैंने एक आइटरेटिव प्रोसेस शुरू कर दिया, लेकिन मैंने वो जो उसको आउटपुट को दोबारा इनपुट देना था, उसके लिए मैंने कोई फीडबैक नहीं यूज़ किया, बिकॉज फीडबैक यूज़ करने से मेरा नेटवर्क थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स हो जाता है. सो मैंने उसको सिंपली सेम कनेक्शन जो था उसी कनेक्शन से वापस इनपुट की ओर भेज दिया. सो आई हैव काइंड ऑफ इनिशिएटेड एन iterative process in an attempt to improve the learning of my network based on the Hebb's rule by repeatedly giving the input as the output and repeating this process. But instead of using a separate feedback path, I am making use of that connected path through the weight itself. Okay, तो मैं उसी path को use कर रही हूँ. So it is also going to fall in the category of static or the feed forward network only. But here my connection is bidirectional. So are we able to understand why we are using bidirectional associative memory and how it is different from linear associative memory? Is it clear?
Ma'am, the weights will change or the weight will be.
हाँ जी, वेट्स चेंज हो गए ना बच्चे. देखो हर बार क्या हो गया, अभी यहाँ पे x इनपुट है, y आपकी आउटपुट है. पहली बार आपकी वेट कोरिलेशन क्या लर्न होगी, जो इन दोनों का प्रोडक्ट होगा. ठीक है, ठीक है, दैट वुड बी x1 इंटू y1 प्लस जो भी आपका वेट मैट्रिक्स सारा कैलकुलेट, y1 w11 ही आपका कंप्यूट हो जाएगा. अब अगली बार क्या हो रहा है कि आपकी जो y1 है, अब ये इनपुट बन गई है. ठीक है, सो ये मेरी इनपुट बन गई है. ओके, सो नाउ अगेन दैट कोरिलेशन इट इज गोइंग टू मेजर. अब उसके करस्पॉन्डिंग आई एम गोइंग टू हैव सम आउटपुट. ओके, तो मैं उसी चीज को इम्प्रोवाइज करने के लिए यूज करती जा रही हूँ. तो ऑब्वियसली वेट्स विल चेंज, देन ओनली द आइटरेटिव प्रोसेस इज गोइंग टू अफेक्ट, अदरवाइज इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू. तो फिर तो कोई लर्निंग हुई नहीं ना. हम इसका भी एक प्रैक्टिकल एग्जांपल लेंगे. आई थिंक इट्स नॉट possible now, but definitely tomorrow we'll take the similar kind of example the way we did for this, and you will actually learn, see there how it is going to be implemented. Okay, so this is how your bidirectional associative memories they are implemented. So associative memories based on the feed forward networks, they can either be a linear associative memory or it can be a bidirectional associative memory. So it can be a bidirectional associative memory. Okay, and apart from that we can have your feedback based associative memory also, and under that we are going to cover your Hopfield network. So in tomorrow's lecture we are going to cover this one example and example of BAM, and then we are going to start with your Hopfield network. So thank you so much for today's lecture. This lecture has not been otherwise recorded. I will put the recording of this itself in your LMS. Okay. और हाँ जी, BAM में आपका कोई भी इनपुट और आउटपुट नहीं होता है. They are called referred to as X layer and Y layer. So first you can start with any one layer. It starts with X. Weight value is initialized. Output is computed for Y layer. Then we take this as the input, and then output is calculated based on those weights which was already initialized, and we get the output for the X layer. This X layer is again then serving as the input, and so on. So this process, it continues back and forth, and a stopping criterion has to be there which tells that when you are going to stop for when you are going to stop this iterative process, and that stopping criterion, it is based on the कन्वर्जेंस. नॉर्मली हम मान के चलते हैं कि जब मेरी वो वैल्यू स्टैटिक हो जाती है, जब मेरी वेट वैल्यूज चेंज नहीं होते हैं, तो इसका मतलब मेरा learning it has to stop. We'll see it through an example. So all your doubts, they will be cleared then. Thank you so much.